People of the internet, the Rogansphere is collapsing and it's getting wild. Let's find out why.
His main topic. So there was the Riyadh Comedy Festival recently.
Yes.
A lot of comedians, some of the biggest headliners from Bill Burr, Joe Rogan, Andrew Schultz, Whitney Cummings, both, comedians right, left are all getting criticism for it because it was a comedy festival organized by the Saudi government. And a lot of people felt some type of way about the fact that a lot of comics decided to go there for big paychecks. And it ended up causing a lot of infighting within the comedy scene. Mm-hmm. You had Mark Maron, who's a bit of a veteran comic who's been around for a long time, going on podcasts, trashing people. He trashed Theo Von during one of his specials. You had Tim Dillon having to respond to a lot of stuff because he was invited to go. And I thought it would be good to just start there because a lot of people have different opinions about why it was happening. And Tim, he explains why he went on and why he wanted to go to the festival.
$375,000 for one show. Now, they're paying me $375,000 for one show. Now, a lot of other people are getting $1.6 million. That's not me. I'm not in that bracket. I am doing this because they're paying me a large sum of money. They're paying me enough money to look the other way. If something bad is happening to your left, look to your right. If I look the other way and I see someone being behanded, meaning they're chopping a hand off, that might be interesting to just kind of see actually how they do it. And if I'm looking at the floor and I see some eyeless beggar grabbing at me trying to get my money, I will look up. I will look the other way because I'm being paid enough money to look the other way. What don't you understand?
And, you got to appreciate he's one of the only people who decided to do that way.
They're being straight up.
He's just saying, I'm going for the money. They pay me enough, so I'm going to ignore all the shit that they're doing. But there were some very different responses, and he had something to say even about that.
Everyone else is going to have $1 million. They're going to go, well, actually, the Middle East is more progressive now, and he's trying to make some change. No. I'm being paid a lot of money to not care about what they do in their country.
All right. So that's.
He was being honest. He's the only one that said it, even though I can't really stand Tim Dillon. I mean, that is the reason right there that they all went. All this other, like, we're trying to make a change in comedy in Saudi Arabia bullshit. The money, that's the only reason to go. Unless you're like, oh, I like to travel. I'd like to see what Saudi Arabia is like. I don't see any other reasons. There are no other reasons you went over there. Got paid a shit ton of money. That's it. That's the only reason. You went over there because you got paid a shit ton of money. And these guys, this stuff is carrying on, especially with Bill Burr, because they just can't admit it.
How this whole thing kind of starts off. And then you have Schultz, who goes on the Joe Rogan podcast. I can't believe I almost forgot. And I'm going to just put that up on the screen for you guys because he responds to a lot of the criticism that he's been getting.
I posted I posted my set because people were saying all this shit like, oh, I didn't change anything. And all these comics were doing it. I'm like, all right, well, I'll show you. This is what I did. Mm-hmm. You tell me if I took it easy on them. You tell me if I cared. And people made all this fucking big deal about like, oh, they made you sign a list of things you can't say. And it's just like, do you really think the fucking king cares about the clowns coming to the festival? Like, you think he really gives a fuck about that shit?
Okay. Yes, he absolutely cares. They have killed people for much less. They silence criticism. In fact, some of his biggest detractors, people who do satire of him, they are Saudi nationals who live in the UK and they don't go back.
Because they can't.
They go back, they get arrested. There's stories you can look up online of a 72-year-old man who hadn't been back for decades. Went back, got arrested the day he landed because they keep a list. If you're a national and you talk shit, they will come for you. If you're in their country, they will arrest you. So this idea that you can't go over there, I promise you, if they did this festival and the festival comedians were shitting on the royalty, that festival would not finish if any of those clips go viral. That comedy festival will not happen again if any of those clips go viral because they take their image incredibly seriously. Yeah. Bad press for them is up. That's why they chopped up that fucking journalist, Jamal Khashoggi, the one who was
Isn't it crazy? The thing that gets me about the whole Andrew Schultz bit right there is that he's trying to act super tough. Like, like the Saudi government, they don't care. Like, bro, what are you doing? Are you that stupid to just like shrug off the Saudi government? Any government, if anything has the word government in it, it means it's serious, I just don't understand. And with the reputation of silencing people over there, I just don't understand why he's acting like he's like king shit, But that's his whole persona. I've really just become more, or I've developed more hatred for Andrew Schultz over, not hatred, but dislike. It's just, he's just becoming such a piece of shit. And it's just hard to watch now.
American at that point, by that point, because they don't like criticism. They don't fuck with that shit. And Schultz pretending like, oh, I don't care about no list. I'll just say whatever I want. You gonna say?
No, go ahead.
Look, my boy Tim Dillon over here.
Agent called me and he goes, they heard what you said about them having slaves. And I said, I was being positive about it. I was defending them. He goes, well, I know that. I said, I was defending them for having slaves. I literally said slaves are probably hard workers and for the most part agreeable, but they didn't like that. You can literally support somebody too much. I've learned this. You can actually, by the way, in life, this happens. Too many compliments. Too much support, and then they turn on.
Okay. They banned him from the festival. He couldn't go.
Who?
You know why so many of the Rogansphere got invited? And I'm not sure it's true, but I'm pretty sure the guy that puts on the boxing does the entertainment. Dana White and him have both a boxing and a UFC relationship. All makes sense now. I didn't think about that, but the entertainment guy for Saudi, he does all that stuff. I forget his name. But yeah, that's why so many of the Rogan, because this is like, how did the Saudis just pick a huge portion of the Rogansphere and invite them over there? Like how? Like how did the Saudis go, oh, these guys are good comedians? Dana White. Oh, Dana White. Ruining the UFC and comedy.
Tim Dillon. Because when asked about him when he got the flag, he talked about it and he started making jokes. He's like, yes, I know they have slaves. No.
Yeah, but because it's a sarcastic way of doing it, they understand that. They're not stupid.
Yes, but they stood it like it.
It's not because you didn't talk about something that you're not, like, we understand what you're doing.
Right, exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? Like,
so even him pretending like they don't have these lists of things that you cannot say or whatever is just not true. And he says...
It's a good point. Nobody said that.
You could go watch it. If you tell me if I held back. I went to go watch it. Did you see the set?
I know. I haven't.
Okay, so this is the flagrant set that he claims he did when he went on the pod. All right? And we could all watch it together. Y'all tell me what y'all think. You guys tell me if you feel Saudi Arabia got those jokes. Right? This is flagrant, okay? So
this is flagrant? Okay. Oh, this is him.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to definitely full screen that shit.
Like, bro. Sadiq, more calls on the shisha. Sadiq, more. Drink coffee, smoke the shisha, tell the Indians what to do. It's the same thing. Sadiq, more calls on the shisha. Sadiq.
So when you go watch the clip itself, it's pretty much just jokes about Indians, women, because women got the right to drive, so he shits on them. And then...
OnlyFans.
No, some jokes about other Arab nations, like, oh, Lebanese people are gay or whatever. Okay? So none of the jokes about the Saudi population in general, none of the jokes about the royalty, everything was pretty much the people that the society already jokes about, joke about them. Now, I don't mind these kind of stuff.
That's another point, too, about Andrew, is he acts so tough about Saudi Arabia. Oh, they don't care. Who cares? And like, they made a good point here. Tim Dillon. They did it to Tim Dillon even before the festival got started, right? They were policing. They were literally watching all that. That's scary. Did anybody think about that? If you think about Tim Dillon getting caught, how did he get caught? People were watching him. Imagine you sign a Saudi contract and now you're being watched. You're being judged. you're being watched for any slip ups, anything that could embarrass Saudi Arabia. That's crazy. Now back to Andrew. For Andrew, he acted so tough against Saudi Arabia, but look at his set. He didn't have no slip ups in that set. He catered the whole goddamn thing to him. That is why, Andrew is just a fucking flip flop con man. Man, I just give him a car lot. Give him a car lot. That's it. Get him out of comedy. Give him a car lot. He can do the same thing, but he could just sell people cars.
I think it's fine to have a set like that personally. My main thing is don't pretend like you were free to say whatever you want and you said whatever you want.
Well, maybe he doesn't have any jokes on the royalty. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't, because I haven't heard jokes from him from the royalty.
What do you mean? He's joked about the Queen. He's joked about leaders, world leaders all the time. He jokes about his own world leaders.
World leaders, yes. I'm talking about
royalty is the world leader of that country.
I understand, but it's like not every world leader is a world leader of that country. So he might have talked about another world leader, but not that one specifically. You know what I mean? You could talk about the royalty, like you could make jokes about the Queen. You're gonna go in Saudi and make jokes about the Queen. Who cares? You know what I mean? Maybe he doesn't have jokes about them specifically, that family specifically. You know what I mean?
But they're the ones in charge.
Yes, I understand. Maybe he just, in his roster of jokes, maybe he doesn't have jokes on the Saudi or on the
maybe, and that's very convenient in my opinion. You go there, you have jokes about women learning to drive, but you don't have jokes about any other stuff. The big political news that comes out of there,
good point.
None of that. You have jokes about the Indians. You have nothing about the local population. Like, you're being very charitable. You're essentially saying that he came up with the most safe, government-friendly set, and you think that's just flagrant, and it happened to be the case.
Amen. Right. He said, all right, government safe. Andrew, Mr. Tough Guy, but boy, he did cover his bases on that set, right? These guys, they're just willing to say anything. And that's what's so bad, because you don't understand. They're ruining a generation of men. Like the men that these Roganspheres and these Kill Tonys, they're ruined. They're ruined. We've bolstered the edgelord numbers there with the Rogansphere. The Rogansphere has just pumped those numbers of edgelords up. And now they're making decisions for our politics, for how we do things, our health. A lot of people don't, outside of COVID, a lot of people don't understand how big Rogan has been in health, right? Rogan has On It. On It, Alpha Brain was all founded on a fell study. Then Rogan pushed fucking Athletic Greens forever. Athletic Greens turns out to be bogus and full of shit. Like, Rogan has promoted so much bad health advice. And he has good, like exercise, like I get it. But mostly like the products and the things that, like the enhancers of health that they can sell, right? Complete shit products. Rogan has been selling complete, absolute dog shit products. Alpha Brain, fucking absolute garbage. That whole company was founded on a false study for Alpha Brain. Do you realize that? Joe Rogan, if you don't think Joe Rogan's a fucking hustler con man, look into On It and Alpha Brain. Look at how all that shit went. It's just crazy. These people are just willing to do and sell anything. And that's why Saudi's so fucking annoying, right, to everybody, and especially when it comes to the Rogansphere, because you have the Rogansphere selling all this bullshit. We were already at our wits' ends of the Rogansphere. They've been selling bullshit and lies and fake bullshit and more lies for so long. We're at our wits' end, and now you go do so. It just like you keep continuing and you keep upping the level each time, and people just had enough. This is going to be like these comedians are trying to brush it off like, oh, it'll be over in 3 days. Dude, people will not forget this one. If you went, you will always be known for going. That's just what it is. And people will always think you're a sellout to the day your shit's over.
Well, it was not necessarily the most flagrant, but I'm not saying that he should have jokes about absolutely everything on there. And maybe he didn't have jokes about the royalty or other people.
Okay.
I mean, it could be that. If we play devil's advocate here, I'm like,
It could be, but in my experience, normally when you're in a country and you're joking about stuff, you're trying to talk about a vast array of stuff. The idea that you're only going to joke about the ones that it's very safe to joke about, I'm probably going to label that a pretty PC set,
sure,
especially with all the backlash and all the publicity around it. To avoid all these topics, I think it's being very charitable.
It's not something that I can consider. I wouldn't consider that set like being like, oh yeah, he went for the Saudis. No, you actually didn't talk about them, but you did some jokes about the environment. Yeah, the shisha. You make jokes about the Indians over there. Not necessarily about when you say, yeah, these Saudis, they got these jokes. The jokes were not really about the Saudis. If I'm saying like,
no, they're not about the Saudis. They were about all the little nuance in Saudi culture, about the people they hate, the way they reference those people. I mean, yeah, look. You can, if you go over there, your best bet is to make fun of things that the Saudis make fun of. Of course, he didn't talk about the Saudis. You know, he ain't trying to fuck with that as much as he likes to act tough. He ain't trying to fuck with that. What he did was the right thing to do. If you're a sellout and you're a con man and you go to Saudi Arabia, and do that whole bullshit, that's the right thing to do. Make fun of what the Saudis make fun of. The popular, that way it's approved by the government. You know what I mean? You're not offending the Saudis. Don't talk about the Saudis. That's the whole point. I don't understand. I don't understand. The point he's making is he didn't have jokes about the king because he ain't trying to find out what the king gonna do. He knows. That's the thing about these guys. They're out there like peace and like, oh, we're just trying to bring comedy and blah, blah, blah. But your set is proof that you know what the fuck they do. You was just trying to grab that bag and not get caught under the knife, The
Haitians are going to get these jokes, and I'm going over there and I'm laughing about the government. I'm laughing about the religion. I'm laughing about like hot topics that will get you booed and hit. If you don't talk about those, you can't be like, they got these jokes. No, they got some jokes, but they didn't get the jokes about them. I can understand that, though.
Mm-hmm. I think that, have you ever been to the Middle East, specifically, if you ever been to UAE or Dubai, you'll know. Like, this is probably one of the things that was most striking for me when I went to Abu Dhabi was the Indian population, the South Asian, are treated like third-class citizen.
Mm-hmm.
So first-class citizen or the Emiratis. It's like different laws for them. You can live in the UAE your whole life. Like, let's say you as a Haitian, you live there your whole life. You work there. You can't become a citizen. You don't get so Emiratis is his own thing. Then you have tourists or expats. They also have their own set. And then you have the third class, which are the Indians. And there's like a lot of like labor. I'm not going to get into the details, but they're pretty much treated like the trash of society.
Gotcha.
So that's what I mean when I say you go there and you're like, I'm free to say whatever I want. I was like, okay, what are you talking about? Oh, okay. You're not beating the allegations with that.
Yeah.
No. But there's a lot of...
Bro needs to stop. Like, he's trying to explain his point, and why he can't explain it because it doesn't make sense. Andrew Schultz definitely went in there with extra mana, extra healing pots, and level 10 tier armor. He went in there. He knew. Like, man, I like this perspective. This is a fresh perspective for me. He didn't try and go in there and beat the allegations. I didn't even think of that. I thought his set was weak and kind of contradicted, but it's right. He talked all that talk and then he went in there and did the exact opposite. He didn't try to prove his point because he knew. He took that money and he knew that he was only going to be there a couple days, stand in line, get the big check, dip out, talk shit if you want to after you're over in America again. It's just funny. He talks like there's all this freedom and safety there, but he didn't feel safe with his comedy, did he? It's just kind of who Andrew Schultz is.
Countries that are less crazy than, let's say Saudis, Saudi Arabia, and you can't say anything you want. I've been a bunch of times to Cuba. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things that you cannot do. Forget saying. Mm-hmm. You can't even bring a drone there. I would not bring a drone.
I actually agree with that law. I agree with that law. You shouldn't have drones.
Camel fatigues. There's some things that you can talkie-walkies. There's some things that you cannot have over there. Not even talking. They will treat you like you're a spy or something. And So I can only imagine what's the laws over there, like in Saudi. I don't think it. No, you're cool. You can say whatever you want. Yeah, no.
I mean, we don't have to imagine. You can look out the stories of people who get arrested for a lot of these things in regards. Now,
Right.
there's a broader argument to have about like how much should you punish the people in terms of performing for them because of the actions of a government, and I think that's a discussion that's pretty long. But let's just watch more of the podcast with Joe Rogan.
Sure.
Well, he would care if it was humiliating.
It's some middle guy who's like, I don't want to get in trouble, so I'm going to say this. They do that shit anywhere you go. They did that shit when I was in UAE. I didn't fucking look at it. I'll never look at a list once.
He said they'll do that shit anywhere you go.
What shit?
They'll come after you, or they'll find a way to punish you if they don't like your jokes. And his example was the next door neighbors, the UAE. It's like, no, if you go to Europe and you go to perform in most places, the royal family or whoever's in there, they're not going to stop you from telling your jokes. You can go to the UK and shit on the Queen if you want. You're not going to jail afterwards.
And have.
You can do that in Canada. We still have a monarchy, technically speaking. No one's going to put you in jail because you fucked. Wrong word.
Yes. Wrong word. Take that back. Because you're not allowed to say it.
Because you fucked the Queen.
Yes.
All
Okay,
right.
cool.
So I just.
I mean, yeah, you can't.
And the reason why I'm highlighting
you can't
it,
really fuck the Queen because she's dead. Like, dude.
he's like they do this
yo.
everywhere, and like your two examples are the ones which the most restrictive things when it comes to free speech in regards to this in the Middle East. But let's keep going.
It's crazy. It's kind of like saying that, you know, the auto dealer that gave you the car loan or the bank or whatever, and the clause in that says they will repossess your car if you don't make car. Oh, they don't really care. That's just like a middleman, you know. He just doesn't want to get in trouble. They just put that in there, you know. I just do. Here's something, you know, about having business, right? And having clients and invoices and contracts and all that stuff. If you're doing a deal with somebody, a lot of people, when they first get into business, will ignore contracts and ignore all that stuff, terms, all kinds of conditions, even like terms to protect yourself when things go wrong, or, you know, all these things. In the beginning, a lot of people will ignore contracts, and then you don't get paid for doing something and you get fucked over. And contracts are so important because they prevent you from getting fucked, right? They prevent you from getting fucked. So it makes no sense, if you're a businessman, why you would not read the terms and conditions. And if you didn't read the terms and the conditions, why was your set so fucking safe? Why did your set have none of that in that? It's just like absolute bullshit. You should always, especially for large sums of money, like, yeah, it's great. It's great that you're getting paid, you know, $1 million or whatever he got to go over there. But here's the thing with money in general, when someone pays you for a service, there are expectations, right? When people pay you a lot of money for a service, there are greater expectations. And I just don't know why he's trying to be the cool guy and act like this isn't a big deal. All contracts are a big deal, because if you sign a contract, you have to live by your word, or you could be punished. You could not get pay. You could lose work hours. You could get sued. Why is a guy that's supposed to be a top comedian that probably has an agency? Oh, the agency didn't take the contract seriously, so you have a garbage agency too? Like, these are just fucking lies, man. It just drives me up. The more I watch Andrew Schultz, the more I just see a sad, pathetic man that's just trying to lie his way into a friendship or for acceptance. That's all I see of Andrew Schultz. He's such an insecure man. He doesn't even believe what he's doing, but he can't just admit it himself. So he's just out there showboating and acting like king shit. Well, you are king shit because you stink and everybody sees it.
To my life, I'll perform wherever my fans are. I don't give a fuck.
Like, you think that the people of Saudi Arabia and the Saudi government all share. Okay, so you also believe that the Chinese government and the Chinese people are exactly the same. It's just racism. I think it took me a second.
Like, that's my take.
So it's not just you know, the MAGA bros, whatever. It's even like these kind of lip cup comics like Whitney Cummings, who she got backlash. She's like, you guys are just racist. No one's saying that Saudi people are the same as the government. But if you go to a government-run festival, I think that's different, no?
Different than what?
Well, people like you guys are equating the Saudi people with it, but no, that's not what people are doing.
No,
they're essentially saying like you went to an event.
The sponsors of that event is the government.
It's not just sponsors. It's literally a government agency who runs it.
Yeah.
Like, here we think of government, we think of things that like they just fund a couple things and a couple, no. In a lot of countries, like all these things are governmental bodies and they're all like federally employed or whatever by that government. They get their money from there. So it's not the same thing at all. Like if you went to a government festival that was engaged, like,
Hold up. I used to put on some festivals back in my day, and we did a big one. It was like over 60,000 people. And we had a board. There's like 13 of us planning out this whole thing. And I think the government put in like $2 million or 2.5. I don't remember. It's been years ago. Oh, that changed everything. You know how much shit got turned down? They didn't want to take any risks. They didn't want to do anything. They basically wanted the festival to just like feed people and make them leave. Like, no, they wanted to strip it down. And it was a lot of fighting to make it a good festival that people enjoy. But, the government, especially when you're doing these things for cities, these events in cities, the government's right there. There's a representative, there's somebody. And if you take any money for the government to do this big funny, because they make money off it too, right? Prepare to fight or have little say. So, I mean, all governments are controlling. It's just they all have different appearances.
go to perform in Israel, I don't think it's an issue. Go to perform for the Israeli government or IDF troops, I think people are going to have a different take on it.
See what you're saying?
I think those are things are different things, no? Mm-hmm. Go to perform Palestine, that's one thing. Perform for Hamas, I think is that not different?
Yeah, that's what you're saying. Well, for some people, it's not.
And I just bring this up to say, comics are getting this criticism, and rather than actually engaging with it, they strawman it, or they go with the worst argument possible, the most bad faith thing, and then they call you things like racist or ignorant.
On it is like, I'm going to perform wherever my fans are. I don't give a fuck what their governments do. I'm going to perform for my fans. Simple as that. That's what it is. I just happen to have fans over there. There are a lot of guys who can't perform outside of Brooklyn who are like, I would never go. And it's like, well, no one was asking you.
Right. No one's inviting you.
Yeah. You also don't have to.
Guess who else didn't get an invite? Joe Rogan.
So this is the third tactic. It's like, you aren't good enough to even perform there, so why does your opinion matter, right? The clout chaser, no one's asking you to perform there. Well,
no, now that I just had this recent revelation earlier, it wasn't even, look, this whole comedy festival and those guys being over there, it wasn't about them being talented comedian. It's Dana White. I swear to God, in the UFC and that relationship, and because of the Saudis having that relationship, they know Joe Rogan. They are aware of the Rogansphere comics. That is the reason all the Rogansphere comics got invited there, is because of the relationship with the UFC and Dana White, which opened the doors to Joe Rogan, the Rogansphere. A lot of those fighters support Joe Rogan and the Rogansphere and all that. That is, dude, I can't believe I fucking missed it. They're going over there like, we got invites. It's all Rogan's friends. It's all the Rogansphere. The comedy mothership just did a set in Saudi Arabia instead of Austin. That is what it is. And it's all because of the fucking UFC. I should have seen it. That is exactly why. They picked those comics, because of the UFC, the environment. Joe Rogan's there. Joe Rogan could have suggested it. I'm sure at some point the Saudis knew that Joe Rogan was a big deal if they did it in Saudi Arabia, because Joe Rogan is hated by the world, except their cult. And God, dude. It all makes sense now, because they want you to think they're special. But why weren't there's so much more comedy? I know you guys say it to me, but this isn't we're expanding the channel slowly, right? We're expanding the topics and the people we include. We've never done Abba and Preach before, I don't think, right? So we're expanding, but I know you want say there's more comedy. I know. I totally understand there's more comedians. But these guys have taken over, right? And now what's also bad about the Saudi thing for the rest of comedy is they get more exposure even though it's bad. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to make sure the Rogansphere is donezoed. It's going to be tough to see an end to the Rogansphere, man. It's just like they keep finding their ways to worm their ways. And the Saudis, those people don't care. They just want to make money. They want to make more money. They want to make more money. That's all it is. You know, the people always say that, I don't even want to get into it.
Why does your opinion matter? That's what they're saying. Mm-hmm. Right?
Right.
But it might be different if you got like tons of DMs of people going, please come out here. We've been watching your special. We've been doing all these things. You're like, oh, that'd be really awesome to come perform for you guys. So
Yeah,
I see what point he's trying to bring there, and I don't disagree with the point of, yeah, a lot of people are going to talk shit because they're not offered the money. But if they were offered the money, they would probably just shut up and just they would have went. I can understand that, but unfortunately, like, you can't prove that for sure.
Sure.
You will never.
And someone could say that anytime we criticize Andrew Tate, it's because we don't have a Bugatti. Technically speaking, right? Like,
Yeah.
if you want to do that, you can do that with everything. You want to criticize the government, it's because you don't have enough authority or power. You want to criticize
No,
this,
not the authority or power, but you're not offered that money. And you know, some people will fold with any kind of money. You know what I mean? You were not funny enough to be offered that money, that kind of money. And being offered that kind of money, you would probably fold. And I know that some people would. So I can understand what he's saying there. Bro, that's first one.
Oh, sorry.
And I can understand understand what he's saying in that moment about that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is true. I think it's true. There's some people are talking a lot because they're not in that position.
Yeah, but I think it's a bad way to engage with an argument because it's just easy way to just discredit it. Like, you have to, at the end of the day, engage with it because some of them would say no to that money. And what do you say to them? Why would you focus on the weakest argument given against you when you could focus on the one that's actually valid and is about principles? I could do that with everything too. Someone criticizes us, you don't have a YouTube channel. You would do the same thing if you did.
But the reality is we don't know that.
Exactly.
We can't
So
prove it
that's
for
why I
sure.
say it's a bad faith way of organizing it. And also, some people who are bigger than him have said no to the money. So what do you say to them? At some point, you're going to have to actually contend with what people are saying, or else you're just doing this thing where you're just running away from the criticism.
I dictator.
Good, my fans get a discount. Like tons of DMs of people going, please come out here. We've been watching your special. We've been doing all these things. You're like, oh, that'd be really awesome to come perform for you guys. So
Yeah, but the idea is you're being paid by a dictator.
good, my fans get a discount. It's not like they didn't. It's not like they didn't have to pay for the tickets. Do you know what I mean? Like there's just a little added on top from the family.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
They bought comedy. So what?
Are you really going to go there?
Of course I am.
Wow.
Why would I not?
For
Joe
a lot of
wouldn't.
fucking reasons.
And Joe knows, but he's just not going to say it because he doesn't want to make them look bad. But you could see he feels weird about it.
Middle East soon.
What? Where? Why?
Saudi Arabia and UAE or Dubai.
Dubai?
I think I'm gonna pass.
Yeah. For the troops? Is it for the troops?
Not for the troops.
What?
It's for the Saudis.
For the Saudi princes?
Yeah, and everyone's like, yeah, you should do it. Everyone's doing it. It's like, for Saudis?
Yeah.
Weren't those the 9/11 guys?
I can't wait for.
Now, is Shane Gillis smaller than him? No, he's a bigger comics, right? A bigger name. Is he also just clout chasing? Is he just saying that because he was probably offered more than Schultz was?
Probably.
And so what he said no. So this idea that everyone who's saying this is just because they wouldn't be able to get offered that opportunity is a bit dishonest, you know? But
Gavin Newsom to go on Bad Friends. I can't. I want to see the. I'm distancing myself from the Rogansphere tour.
That's
First stop.
all right, so for those who are confused, Rogansphere includes a lot of people. One of them being Andrew Santino, the ginger boy, who does a podcast with Bobby Lee. Familiar?
Santino is part of the.
Yeah, he goes on the podcast all the time.
Oh,
and
I didn't know.
he had Mark Maron on. Mark Maron went on the Bad Friends podcast and said a lot of things about Joe Rogan and the rest of the crew, and so that's what he's referencing here.
Bad friends.
That's hilarious.
I thought that was corny.
Yeah.
I thought it was corny.
Yeah, we talked about that. There's no time that
was
you
corny?
should,
Them talking shit
in my
about
mind.
Yeah, like Mark Maron talking shit about them, and then and Santino having Mark Maron on.
Okay.
No time that you should be spending on these kind of conflicts. Well, when I decided to talk shit about Marin was after the Theo thing. After Theo kind of went off the rails.
Yeah.
And Theo went off the rails right after Marin put him in his special.
I think. Okay.
Guys, I'm done with this Theo Von stuff. Theo Von is a spoiled little prince. He is just the little prince. He can't handle. Who cares if Mark Maron talks shit? Look, here's the thing. People are going to talk shit to you today. Like 100 people talk shit to me today on my page. Who cares? You're like, if you're really worried about what Mark Maron thinks, you're a loser. Like, sure, you can think what you could say he's a good comic, but is Mark Maron a guy I'm going to worry about? Get out of here. Get out of here. Everybody's cat fighting with each other, and then Theo cries and feels all hurt. Like, Theo is just a tiny little baby. He is just a spoiled little brat, and he can't handle it. He can do all these things, to rile people up, divide people, bring people on his platform that he knows is going to shake things up politically and make people pissed off and make people feel righteous and just cause division between people. But as soon as he gets called out, and to be fair, Mark Maron, it's pretty accurate what he's saying about Theo right there. And Theo just acts like a little baby. And then he's got to have Papa Joe come in there. Like, honestly, Joe, why would you feel threatened by Joe anyways?
So I guess Theo Von went through like a depressive episode, and what happened was this guy made a joke, and this is a joke that apparently set him off. All right? I'm going to bring it back a couple seconds.
Yeah.
And Theo went off the rails right after Marin put him in his special.
I think if Hitler were alive today, he'd probably appear on Theo Von's podcast. And Theo would be like, see, y'all did a lot of meth, right? I mean, all the Nazis were all fucked up on meth, right, Hitler? That shit'll make you crazy, dog. I did some meth once. I was up for 3 days, and then I ate a live bird. No shit, Hitler, a live bird, bro. Hey, Hitler, you probably didn't even hate the Jews. That was just the meth making you crazy, dog.
I try to be very charitable.
So that's the joke. Oh, there you go. All right, let's keep going.
I'm more laughing about the impression.
The impression is pretty decent.
The impression.
Yeah.
About anybody that I'm not like in a real serious, like a Mark Maron type thing with.
Yeah.
That guy, I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah.
You're a problem.
But he made his bed.
Yeah, he made his bed, and the Theo thing just really drove me crazy because Theo is the sweetest fucking human being. I love him to death.
You think that Maron wants
Theo.
to be talking about another comedian? Like, do you think that
the thing is, you remember when comics they talk about is like airline seats and travel? It's because that's all they knew because they were on the road every weekend.
Constantly.
Because that's all they think about. That's all he thinks about is other people doing better than him. So that's what
the
he
bits
wants to
are gonna be
attack.
about it.
Where's your thoughts on Gaza?
Oh,
It's crazy that I love how Joe Rogan does this. When anybody calls him out or anything, he pretends to take the high road. He's like, I'm pretty charitable with people, except for Mark Maron. It's like bullshit. You and Alon were trashing people. You trash politicians constantly. You trash journalists constantly. You trash comedians trying to come up, or comedians that don't make your standard. It's got to be 10 years and then a special every 2 years, and you got to be at the mothership to be considered a real comic. You trash everybody, and then Rogan comes up here and like, oh, I'm a nice guy. I'm charitable. Dude, I'm tired of this horse shit. Rogan is just such a fucking loser.
I just thought that was funny.
What's your win?
What's your thoughts on Gaza? Isn't it interesting, though? Like, comics spend their whole time on podcasts talking bad about politicians, random videos they see, different people they want to criticize, jokes they want to make. And then a comic makes a joke about another comic, and they're crying over it.
Man, I love how everyone sees it.
That's not what we're supposed to do. It's like we're supposed to talk about the things that are around us, and sometimes it's the things that are around us, like the news, like the music, like you're supposed to inspire yourself from things that are it's. You know what I think is funny? That's what we ask ourselves, all the time. And then if there's something funny about that, then we're gonna talk about it. So, I mean, comedians are not off limit. They're not. I'm not off limit. Some people always make jokes about me. I'm not off limit. I gotta fucking okay, sure. Go on. I might say some stuff if I don't like the execution of what you're doing, or if that's the only joke that it's been happening to me, and well, here in Quebec, like if you have the same stance and you've been repeating the same thing for 10 years, I might eventually say something like, okay, change your disc, like we've heard that joke, like you've been spinning that. But other than that, like we're not immune to any of that. Like,
well, I mean, they feel differently.
It's just crazy because I just don't understand at their level of fame that they don't understand that people will hate them. And they get so butthurt about it. Like, there's just so many better ways. Just don't pay attention. That's my philosophy most of the time. People shit on you, don't pay attention to it. If you want to talk shit back and troll them, talk shit back and troll them. Own it, and then move on. But to sit here and to act like you walk on water is crazy. Because Joe Rogan is the biggest hypocrite. And like I said before, con men always try and protect their image because their image is a facade. And if there's one crack, the whole fucking thing's going to blow open. And they're going to be exposed, People are going to talk shit to you. Ban them, fucking troll them, shit on them back. Do whatever. Or just ignore them. But don't sit there and act like, oh my gosh, they came after me and they questioned me, and then try and act like you're holier and you're charitable. That shit is a bunch of horse shit.
Let's see. Let's see more about what they got.
I haven't heard him say anything. Yeah, I think
there's nothing that guy ever says where I'm like, wow, that's a unique insight.
That's the thing.
Fucking never. It's childish with a good vocabulary.
No, I think he's a smart guy. I think he's probably smarter.
It's crazy that the elementary school comedians are calling other people childish. And Joe Rogan talking about vocabulary like he knows anything, or good insight. When was the last good Joe Rogan insight? Like, really, when was the last Joe Rogan insight that didn't go back to COVID, the mainstream media being corrupt, or you know what I mean? What good insight has Joe Rogan had? He acts like he's a fucking philosopher king. It's just absolutely bizarre. I think these guys are just swimming around in their own semen, drinking it up, and producing their own fucking media babies. It's absolutely insane what these guys are doing. And then what I just said, I don't even know why. That doesn't make sense at all. So, yeah, sorry, my bad.
I think it's funny. I think that drives him crazy.
Yeah, but he's also too obsessed with himself to be reflective enough to understand why other people don't like him.
Wait, you're saying
Wait, what? He's too obsessed with himself to reflect on why people hate him. Well, I guess the guy pumping every kind of life-altering, non-aging, muscle-growing, stop me from becoming an old man drug into his body is not really reflective. He's, obsessed with himself, I would say. And then this guy, Rogan, yeah, he doesn't have as many fans as he used to, and he has a lot of fans. But most of the entire world that is not part of his little man boy cult, hate him. Rogan is one of the most hated people in the world, especially since he played the game of politics. It's just crazy that all these things they're saying apply to them. They can, too, very well apply to Mark Maron. Apparently, Mark Maron has his own issues, right? But it's just funny that they're lecturing everybody, and those same things literally apply to them. Distract, divert.
Who talks by himself for 5 minutes before the president comes on? 15 minutes. If there wasn't for Fast Forward, there would be no Maron podcast.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys, man. You saw it. You saw a lot of these guys. You saw, and it's like, I think a lot of this is just salvation, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's like they see an internet trend, and I think that like right now there's this internet trend, the fucking manosphere, blah, 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 blah. And I think I see guys who you were very generous too. Like you lent your platform, your millions of followers, the biggest show on the planet, help them make tons of money, help them really have success, build their own platforms. And now they see like an internet trend about like the manosphere or whatever. And I see guys like trying to create a little separation. I see all of a sudden it's like, yeah, you use this guy to make millions of dollars and get all these fans. And now you see online outrage and you're like, oh no, that's them. That's not me. It's like, you had no problem being part of the Avengers, and now you see a little shit going on, you separate. I feel like that's the moment you double down for your boy. That's the moment you go, I know.
Is that what you did, Andrew? You used Trump for the views to make money and to get your name out there. And then as soon as you got a little bit of backlash, you were distancing yourself, and now you're crawling over to Zoran Mondani being like, bring me back. He didn't do that. He didn't stick by his dude. You know, the hypocrisy is a common theme in the Rogansphere. It's literally all the shit that comes out of their mouth is hypocritical and lies.
Know that person, what people are saying about him isn't real, and you refute that. That's what I would do.
No, but you could no. Wait a minute. No, because I know the person. I know what he's doing. No, he's not like that. So I'm gonna defend him no matter what. No, if someone fucks up, messes up, or I know a person that is doing some good stuff, right? And then he turns around and does some fuck shit, like it can happen to anybody of us. You know, sometimes you make some bad decisions. As a friend, you should be like, yo, that was messed up. That was not a good move. That was, I don't know. At least the people that care, like that's just the representation of having a bunch of yes men's around you. You know what I mean? People that are like, no, you did good. It was great. I know you. It was cool. You're okay. I know what you meant. You can't say to someone that, hey, your delivery was messed up there. You just gave me an upside down pizza. It's still a pizza, but the delivery is fucked up. You gotta tell them the delivery's fucked up. Like I no man, if the company if you were ordering a pizza and it became like that, you would leave a comment. Listen, I still love you, Domino's, but that delivery was messed up. And then that wonderful restaurant or place that you like, that you always order from, well, they fixed that. But you have to tell them. So if you're able to do that with restaurant, leaving comments for things that they mess up, even though you love them, you could do that with your friends 100%.
So what?
Yeah, I don't get that either. I think I said it before. But if you're going to do some stupid ass shit, don't sit there. Don't be there. If you're going to get arrested, you're going to make a fool out of yourself and like get yourself in some hot water. That ain't got nothing to do with me. And I'm going to tell you, hey, look. I ain't going down for shit for your life that you choose to do. I ain't doing that. I don't think, there's ways to address a friend. I don't think you have to go on a podcast and start a whole war over comedy for it. I mean, I'm more about addressing it behind the scenes. But you can't just like, stand by somebody for everything they do just because you're a friend. That's some crazy ass expectation. And all these people that claim loyalty, they're the most unloyal motherfuckers you'll ever meet. Because look, Schultz wasn't loyal to his whole Trump conservative party thing now, was he? But he always expects people to be loyal to his con ass shit. Isn't that some bullshit? Ain't that some bullshit?
Schultz might argue you should do that in private then, not in public.
If you had your opinion in public, I'm gonna do my thing in public. I don't think that. I mean, wait. Mm-hmm. You could do that. You could do that in private. Yeah, it's up to you. You could do that in public. Be like, hey, you know what? You messed up there. Or do it in public. Like I don't mind.
Yeah.
Either or, it doesn't matter. Oh, you referencing to whatever happened to you and him?
No.
Okay. But yeah, you could do it on live, or you could do it. It's either or. Some people make video about it. Hey, this is what happened to my Domino's, and then they get compensated. Or they do it on. Hey, by the way,
I don't even know what he's talking about.
I get what you're saying. I think friendship and business is interesting because, I think the viewer sees this as like friendships and the creators. It's not really a business. But there's like a lot of things involved. There's a lot of branding involved. For example, a lot of these people coalesce with each other around certain ideas.
Sure.
Anti-censorship, anti-establishment, right? There's a lot of things that they coalesce on, and that's how they build their audience.
Right.
For example, the Epstein thing is definitely something that coalesces a large group of people. For a long time, people were against mainstream media and the way that it tried to control everything. That's how a lot of these guys came up.
Sure. Yes.
Joe Rogan was a voice that was not. And so there's a lot of values that are really shared between people, and they're putting down Forefront Street. The thing that bothers me a little bit is it seems like they prefer. No, let me rephrase. They value loyalty between each other over those values.
Okay.
Meaning, even if you betray those values that we all built our careers on, you should always talk to me privately or anything like that. Even though we all buddy on these values in public and we're all branding and growing off this shit together, the moment you fuck up on these exact same values that made our career, come to me quietly. Be loyal. I helped you build your career with these things. So it's interesting.
You know what kind of groups have those same values? Cults, cartels, gangs, the mafia. And they're the most unloyal. If you've ever been around anybody associated with that shit, they are the most unloyal, backstabbing motherfuckers. People that are, it's crazy. It's crazy. People expect you, here we go. Let me say it this way. The people that commit crimes, murders, robberies, scam people, blah, blah, they expect loyalty out of you, even though they're doing all that shit. Like, they want you to be loyal and trust them, even though they're doing all that shit to people. Does that even make sense? We're criminals, but have loyalty. Bro. It's just crazy. It's crazy. The people that scamming the most are the people that are going to ask the most for your loyalty, even though they won't have any for you. That is how it goes. When you deal with shady ass people, make sure you keep your shady shades on and know what you're dealing with. Otherwise, they're going to take advantage of you. And that's one of the tactics. Be loyal, and then they'll fuck you back. And then, next thing you know, it's over. That's what those kind of people are.
To me, that the values that they profess to care about so much are second to the loyalty that they have to each other. And it feels very controlling to me.
But what when you go in private, and what does that do? Like, why would you want someone to go in private and be like, talk to me in private?
What do you mean, why?
Why? Exactly that.
There's a lot of reasons why. You don't like the fact that it brings you negative attention. The person that you feel like you have a closeness to, you don't like the idea that they would be in public making you look bad. So when you're doing good for me in public, that's great. When you do bad for me in public, shut up, come to me privately. And it feels like a very weird way to engage in a business relationship or a content-related relationship in front of the public, but that's the reason why. I mean, it makes sense why they would feel that way.
Sure.
To me, it's just like, I thought you guys cared about these values above all this other stuff, and it turns out your personal relationships are what matter more. I think that's a bit phony. If your whole thing about censorship is gone the moment your friends are involved, then you don't really care about the censorship really that much. It's not a core value for you, friendship or whatever this thing is. And I don't even know if it's real friendship, because you can make the argument that expecting people to stay with the values that they built their whole lives on is a form of friendship. So, for example, I think like my friends, if you have a relationship with somebody privately, I'm fine with you handling everything privately. That makes sense. But if you monetize your relationship in front of your audiences and these ideas, then I think your audience has a right to be like, what the fuck is this? I don't think that's crazy.
Also, a friend is not somebody that'll ask you to compromise your livelihood, your well-being, your survival, you not being in prison. A friend will not ask you to do that for their mistake. A friend will own their mistake, right? I don't think these people are. It's like a hierarchy, and you have to submit to it because Joe Rogan had you on the podcast once. So if you're on somebody's podcasts, you just owe everybody favors, dude. Here's my thing, right? If you're famous, if you're a creator, if you're like a TikTok superstar, Here's my thing. Don't do fucking interviews. Don't do. I've had interview requests. I don't even answer them. I'm not going to answer them. There's nothing going to. Sure, you can get more fan base. I don't care. I don't want to deal with it. Interviews, people, all this drama on the internet. Interviews seem like a bomb waiting to go off. People are always trying to get the dirt. You can look at Stavros. All of Stavros podcasts. I've skimmed through and looked through most of the recent Stavi interview podcasts. He goes on a long one to big people. One I saw this morning was over 7,000 people, and 90% of them all wanted to talk about Rogansphere drama. And you don't know these people. You don't know if they have good intentions. Like, if you've ever done interviews, you can get like a hot question thrown in there that you're not prepared for, that is trying to trap you in a corner, get you canceled, whatever. Fuck all that interview shit. I'm going to sit here in my room and talk shit like I always do. Sorry. Don't do interviews. That shit's crazy, man. I learned that the first time I did this social media thing.
You made your money off of that same relationship. Now that it's a little rocky, now you want to be private. I think that's weird to me. And I think it also betrays the audience. And I realize also this from previous issues, but like, people have no responsibility to their audience, and the audiences don't seem to really care that much either.
About what?
It's like niggas can do gambling, sponsorships. They can do whatever the fuck. It can harm people. Nobody does not much care.
Oh, there's no agency.
It's not agency. There's no real. I expect better.
And that's part of what the internet has done. The internet has disconnected us. You look at things like death, car accidents, all these traumatic things. People just watch them on their phone. They don't care. You see people get canceled, lose their job, go bankrupt, lose their house, just get smashed into the ground. And yeah, some people may deserve it, but the internet really doesn't care. The internet is just kind of separated people, made people just forget what these consequences and things. And I'm not going to go on who deserves it or not. I'm just saying the internet's ready to crucify anybody and then move on to the next person. That is the internet now. And I think because we spend so much time on our phones and our computers and on the internet, we really just don't have that, feeling for somebody's pain and suffering. It's just completely disappeared. As much as the internet has done good, I honestly think if you weigh it out, the internet has been more terrible. It's like AI, right? I like playing with AI. I like fine tuning my commands to make art or thumbnails or whatever. But it's the electricity, like I said the other day. If I could go without it, like, AI doesn't really improve my life at all. It makes some things easier on this YouTube, but outside of that, it doesn't improve my life. You can take that shit back. Put the electricity back down. Put that shit down. Let's pay normal high prices that you've already, you're already conning us and ripping us off on. Let's go back to those prices. These AI prices, fuck that shit. I don't need AI. I don't care about AI. Like, my life can go on with AI. I lived half my life without the current day internet. You know what I mean? I could go without the internet too. I could go without these things if it would make less crazy shit in the world, man. Ugh. The problem with the internet is it's exposed all the crazy shit that was happening, exposed all the crazies, exposed all the just trash in the world. As much as it has the good stuff too, and normal people have a chance on making careers or whatever they want on the internet. But I go back. Remember answering machines? Damn, or people could only call you when you were at home and you just check your answer machine. Ugh, bro. Do it. I don't even like my phone. It just...
Like, we have a gambling epidemic that's like spreading to kids and everything. Yeah. And every day I see people taking betting sponsors that are huge. The amount of money that we've been offered, mid-six figures for gambling sponsorships.
Yeah.
And I'm like, niggas, where do you think that money's coming from? It's not from your fans winning.
Yeah.
You're selling poison to your audience. nobody cares. So I think this is just the landscape that we're in.
I mean, it could potentially be that. Well, you could argue that it could potentially be poison. It's not every time that it's poison. It depends of the person. You know, I wouldn't mind selling alcohol, but that can be like a big problem. You know what I mean?
I mean, if there was an epidemic of people dying from alcohol poisoning, if it was in huge numbers, if like alcoholism was just shooting through the roof, then I think so. But I think we've been fairly stable for the most part.
Okay, I'm gonna put this out here. Alcohol is the worst drug. Out of all the things I've tried in my life, nothing has done me like alcohol. Alcohol is straight poison. What do you mean? You drink alcohol, you're poisoning your body. I am anti-alcohol. I don't drink anymore. Alcohol makes me sick now. Something changed in my mid-20s, and just a little bit of alcohol just makes me sick, ruins the entire next day. I don't even fuck with it because I don't want to be sick, right? But I've never done a drug where I'm puking my brains out, stumbling all over the place, can't control my body, pass out, right? I've never done anything like that. And technically, alcohol and benzos are probably the worst. They're the only drugs that can kill you from withdrawal. Yeah. It's crazy. I am. People can drink what they want. I don't care. But if you want my honest opinion on alcohol, fucking get rid of that shit. Get rid of that shit. Get rid of cigarettes. Get rid of enriched flour and breads. Get rid of enriched flour and breads. You know how many problems enriched flour causes you? Make sure you look at the label when you buy bread and buy wheat flour. Nothing enriched. Get that shit out of there. Bring down grocery store prices. I mean, I got a whole list. But alcohol, I think alcohol, and look at all the problems alcohol causes America. It literally changes your body, your skin color, how your skin looks. It makes you, for guys, it makes you grow this massive belly. You could be like skinny as a rail and you're an alcoholic, you've got a belly. Like, it does so much. It causes fights. It causes car accidents. Look at the numbers. Look at all the numbers on drugs and all the stuff related to alcohol. Alcohol's king. It's crazy. They won't give you any kind of freedom to experiment or try any of these things they call illegal for yourself. But they'll sell the worst thing for you in mass quantities at every grocery store and corner store in America and across the world. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy?
Quite some time now. So, that's one thing. The gambling thing is not that at all. The gambling thing has like quadrupled, and with people that are underage, because a lot of these platforms,
it's very excessive. It's very.
I haven't seen like an uptick in alcohol being sold to underage people. That's not the case.
It's very accessible. It's right there.
Oh, it's
yeah. So
gambling, look into that one. That one's crazy. But anyways, let's go back to this topic. Oh, I got the fucking chat up in front of me. All right, here we go. Is there volume? I don't see any volume.
Of yours, I bet I can count the minorities on one hand.
What a sacrifice to not go to the festival you weren't invited to.
Yeah, they don't know you exist. It's not because you're a problem. It's not because you speak truth to power.
Yeah.
It's because you speak truth to upper middle class white people and 10 minorities who want to fuck upper middle class white people.
Just pat yourselves on the back.
Yeah.
That's it.
Go to a Mark Maron show, count the minorities.
Like from the folks that brought you 9/11.
So these are the jokes from Mark Maron that got a lot of people.
Akash, I would like to say this now. If ever you would like to go to a gym and have a boxing match, you can have a ref. We can do 2-3 minute rounds, whichever you want. I would gladly whoop your ass. You need to learn exactly who you are. You aren't some tough guy. You aren't some comedian. You aren't everything. And I know, but I'm giving you a safe option to be taught a lesson. Akash, the only reason you have any career is because of Andrew Schultz. Nobody gives a fuck about you. No, where are you on all these podcasts and where are all these people interviewing you and wanting? And guess what? Akash, you weren't asked to go do a comedy set. The Flagrant show was asked, and Andrew was the one that was asked to do a comedy set. So put your little shoes on and pull up those pants and realize you ain't shit. Get your shit together, dude. I would. Just honest. Akash, reach out to me. I got you. I got you. And if you want me to fly out there, go ahead and book me a ticket, because I ain't paying for that beating I'm going to give you.
Upset.
2 weeks of laughter in the desert. Don't miss it. I mean, the same guy that's going to pay them is the same guy that paid that guy to bonesaw Jamal Khashoggi and put him in a fucking suitcase. But don't let that stop the yucks. It's going to be a good time. Full disclosure, I was not asked to perform.
All right.
Oh, how was the comedy festival you guys went to? Was it good?
In Riyadh?
Yeah.
Wild, dude. It was crazy. Well, the backlash on the internet was even more insane. It was insane.
That stuff seemed ridiculous to me, though.
Well, dude,
did you feel like it was?
Everyone is a walking contradiction, and there's a million miles of hypocrisy in people's arguments. And
Andrew, you know, I didn't talk much on this because I was focusing on Little Prince Theo the other day when I covered this. But it just seems like Andrew is falling back in line and kind of on a little apology tour for letting Mark Maron. You know, did Andrew get punished by the old Rogan? You know, did Andrew have to go to his weekly Rogan bend over, you know, submit to daddy thing? And Joe just gave it to him extra hard to punish him. He's on an apology tour, man. And I've never been a fan of Andrew Santino, honestly. But I was having a little faith on him. But if you've seen all the podcasts he's gone on, and I'm just like, bro, why? Why can't you just stand up for what you said? You're not going to like everything someone does. And if someone does something fucked up like this, then you can say it. Because Joe Rogan, you know, Joe Rogan calls out Bird all the time for being fucked up, calls out Schaub for being fucked up. He calls out all his friends on his fucking show to millions of people. But now you can't call it out. I just think that shows who Andrew Santino is. And here's the thing about Andrew. Andrew's Santino's show is bigger than all of the Roganspheres, and it competes with Theo's, and Joe is above them. So, like, you don't need them. With your show, with your Patreon, you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month just off of this YouTube and fucking all that shit. Who cares? Who cares what they say? They don't even pay your bills. And shit, if they do pay your bills and they're fucked up, say something else too. Because you don't want to work for somebody that's fucked up. That's pretty much every job. So I guess we do. But point is, if you have an opportunity to stand up for yourself, if someone's doing something wrong and you're associated with that or something, nah, call them out. Fuck them. So many people expect you to like throw yourself on top of them for their safety, for their benefit, for the preservation of their image and their brand. Bro, you got to be fucking crazy. You know what? I don't get these men that submit to other men. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Get the fuck out of here. How you gonna bow down? I don't take shit from nobody. And it's not because I'm tough, because that's my life and I preserve my sanity. And if you're shitty, if you're doing shitty things, go on, playa. Get out here. Get out. Go on, playa. Go play somewhere else. Ain't no hoes around here. You know? Look how people, these comedians about that hoe life, because they're always hoeing themselves out.
the fact that the community was attacking each other was very strange to me. When someone's like, you know, they're all terrorists, and you're like, 8 million people in Riyadh are all of them are terrorists? What are you talking about? And they go, well, they did 9/11. And you're like, I thought we said we did 9/11. I thought, remember when you guys were all like, we did it? I thought they said we did. What I didn't like, what I don't like is in the community, stabbing and going after other people in the community, because I just think that's an odd move. I don't understand it. Go off. If that's how you want to live your life, enjoy the drama. But I don't give a fuck about your judgmental opinion, because you're.
What's wrong?
No, it's just that this is, and I'm slow for that. It's just that there's some words that are used. Oh, everybody was attacking each other. I feel like nowadays people use all these words. Like, if I say something about you, I'm attacking you.
You're doing it.
I was about to say that. If I'm doing a video on you, it's a hit piece. That's not what this means. It's like you're using all these words.
Bro, just go into my chat. I'm a loser. I'm uncreative. I don't make my own content. This is what the internet is. You're mentally ill. You're a psycho. You need to go do your meds. This is the speak of the internet. And here's the thing. Here's the things that let me know that about those people that say stuff. It don't even matter. But if you're gonna say something on my page and you got to show up, must be some kind of success because your ass is here. And if it's so easy to do what I do and to get people's attention and to get subscribers, come on, playa. Come on up. Let's see your channel, bitch. That's why I don't take those people seriously, because those are the same people that shit on me in the comments and they go, Ma, grab me a soda pop and some Cool Ranch Doritos. Okay, honey, would you like a pop? You would like a pop? Okay, come on. Come into mommy's arms. These people, man, the internet just turned stupid ass people, give them a voice. They never had a voice before that, but the internet just makes stupid ass people have a voice. And don't pay attention to people. Yeah, I get it. It can irritate you, and there's days, right? I don't want to comment most of the time. I don't care. But there's days where I have it in me. Oh, you want to talk shit? I'm going to talk shit. I'm going to give you that same energy back. And then I get out of my system. For a little while, I'm good. But it's very rare that I do that. I used to take more joy in doing it because I feel like if you're going to come shit on me, boy, I'm about to open that can of whoopity-whoop ass on you. I'm going to shit on you back. And people be mad. Well, you said, I don't give a fuck. Don't talk shit if you don't want to get shit back. Right? Don't talk shit if you want to get shit back. And I expect that. I talk shit about the Rogansphere. They're going to shit on me. They're unfair, though. They go for like the copyrights, try and get you banned. Come on, step up to the soapbox and say your thing. Nobody's going to get their feelings hurt, but I'm going to sling more shit at you. I don't subscribe to any of these morals or this weird fucking internet content where you can make something and no. You talk shit, be prepared to get shit back. And 99% of the time I ain't going to say, but you might be one of the lucky ones in the comments where I'm just going to shit on you. That's all you do. Don't take them serious, shit on them, or move on. That's it. You can't take it serious. Here's the thing. Why are you going to listen to losers? People that go out of their way just to like dump all their emotional toxicity on you. I hate that word, toxicity. Emotional trauma. Why are you gonna bother it? They ain't your fans. You don't gotta please them. Fuck them. Fans, you won't see me shit on my fans. Respect it. They're helping me do this thing. But I just don't get it. People on the internet have this weird code of conduct. Fuck that. I ain't doing none of that. I don't obey your rules. Hey, look, I'll be a Lone Ranger all day before I submit to you. That's the problem. People on the internet just make a bad comment and you're going to submit to them. That's what's crazy about these guys. These guys don't understand that you're going to get this hate because people just ain't going to like you. And then you're going to sit there and cry about it and whine. And you're basically caving to all those people you say you're above. Dude, here's the thing. Appreciate people that you can appreciate, that appreciate you. And all those people that don't, just distance yourself from them. Don't even give them no attention. Unless you want to shit on them one day. After they do it to you, That's my philosophy. I don't give a fuck what anybody says about it. That is my philosophy. And look, I don't cause drama, but if I got a good one, if I got a good comeback, you remember Yo Mama jokes? That was my training ground. Yo Mama. What happened to Yo Mama jokes? I still think mom jokes are funny. Your mom.
Can't help myself.
You're using all these words that are like the extreme of the word of the situation. Oh, these comedians are really going to Riyadh and this and that and that. Like it's commentary. Oh, but no, it's an attack. It's not an attack, dude. You did some stuff. It's might be reprehensible in some kind of way or whatever. You might get some flack for it.
Yeah.
They just say that that was weird. They're
Bro,
just
why are you
calling it
calling
out.
me out for selling out? Why are you calling me out?
It's not an attack. It's not an attack.
Hold on, but you're gonna like this next part because he complains about this. Watch what he does.
Self are not on high.
People sent me, there was a clip from Mark Maron where he like said something about me in his comedy special.
Yeah.
And it was like Theo would interview Hitler.
But I mean, he loves to start shit. Like that's a part of his discourse is talking shit. And a piece of me knows when we talk shit about people we love, and we joke around about each.
So you attacked him. You just attacked Mark Maron. Oh, he's a piece. Yeah.
Well, he talked shit first.
Each other. There's love behind it. If you joke about somebody, if it's funny and it's in jest, it's obvious. And if it's not, it tends to be a little bit more obvious. And so I don't understand that kind of approach. I don't get it. And I saw that they had Bernie on Schultz's show.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on?
He's not coming here.
Bernie? I just don't think we want politicians on the show.
No. Yeah.
We shouldn't replace it. This should be its own thing.
Yeah.
This is its own form of music. Someone who I
See, this is what I don't get. Why would you have a politician on your show anyways? And I get a lot of shit from my comment. Oh, you don't believe in politics. You don't. Bro, why do you believe in politics? Isn't insanity doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results? All of these guys, all of these politicians have fucked America over. Remember, Yes We Can, Change to Believe In, and then he was drone bombing the shit out of everybody. He was spying on America. He was trying to capture Snowden, right? All not to mention Obama raged all these wars. Obama was probably the last person I actually had, and I was in college, right? And I thought, oh man, I really, coming an adult, and I see Obama, and Obama's doing all this stuff, and I didn't vote for him, right? I just, I didn't know what to think at the time, right? I'm trying to understand politics, and that guy totally dupes us. The wars in Afghanistan and Iraq raged on, right? They just kept raging on. Nothing really changed. You gave Obamacare, which is some bullshit. Give us free healthcare like all the other countries. We don't get nothing for our taxes. So people always say, it's so weak not to believe. No, it is. It's so, I think, why would you believe in politics? These guys dupe you. Then you have these politicians on speaking all this big game, and they don't even do shit. They don't even do none of that shit. And you look at this current president. Did the grocery prices come down? Has the gas come down? Like the gas will drop for one day. They'll be like, gas prices down. Back up to $3, $3.50, $4 the next day. Groceries are expensive as fuck. Rent is expensive as fuck. Where is making America great again? I see this from politician to politician. And people will be like, believe my politician, but don't trust that politician. Look, politicians are some of the worst fucking people in the world. And you can nix out 90%. They send people to war. That makes them the worst people in the world. Just on that fact alone. Not to mention, they're all rich and we're all down here. Just like, what about us? Our healthcare is about to fucking go up again, right? They're like, all these politicians are rigging the system so that all of these big corporations, they all work for each other. They're all in on every process. Now, the medical system is just rigging it so there's just a monopoly on everything and they could just charge whatever. I just don't get why people trust politicians. And you could have your belief. I don't give a fuck. And I don't care what you think about mine. I'm telling you, why would you trust a politician? It's like every political cycle, people forget how they got fucked the last political cycle. I just don't get it. And if you're going to have a bunch of liars come on your podcast and talk bullshit, they ain't never going to do. There's no accountability for these guys, so these guys run wild, and then everybody acts like the next one's the savior when he's just in line to bend you over and fuck you too. Bro, I don't get it. I hear it all the time. There's my response to it. That is why I don't, because none of them have done nothing. Yeah, there's been a couple of things, but they give you a couple things every once in a while. But most of the time they take, and then everybody's like, well, you don't believe in politics? Nope, not at all. Watch this election cycle. We come back. We'll come back when this is all done. They're on cruise control. They've had their months, and let's see what changes. Cause ain't nothing gonna change but them having more control, you having less privacy, you having less rights, you having less shit you get from your taxes. That's the only thing that's gonna change. I wish I lived in a country that gave free education, free healthcare. That's the least you can do for the shit ton of money you've taken out of my paychecks. We paying for it? Why are we paying for fucking wars overseas and stuff? Man, see, now I'm getting started. They always giving money to other countries, but not the one that gave them money, you know? Bro.
I think he himself would admit, I would hope, that wasn't the best move to put you in a special. I mean, why? Sometimes I write jokes about my dad, and I'm like, why did I put that in a special? You know what I mean? Like, a friend or a colleague, for that matter, because you're probably not friends, but I just don't know. I don't know if it's necessary.
Maybe he just meant it as something funny, you know?
Well, look, yeah, the core of it was probably him trying to write a joke about it, but I don't think you're close enough for that to have that kind of.
Or maybe to say, hey, what do you think about this?
That would have been great. If you say to somebody, hey man, are you cool with me?
So you see that?
So I gotta be close to someone to make jokes about that person now.
You have to ask permission. Now you have to ask permission. So
it's got to go through Rogan.
This is why I don't like comics. This is why I stopped liking the most amount of hypocrisy. They literally get on podcasts and talk shit about people every day. Cool, get your bag.
Do you see this? People that doubt me, people that doubt the people in my comments saying these things. Look at this. All these articles, all these clips, we did it first. We're we may be small, but you look at all the other channels, all the news, all that shit started here. I found those articles. You sent me those articles. We did that shit. And they called us crazy. They called us haters. But look at it. Everybody is saying what we've been saying this whole time, even though we're a small channel. Everybody's playing the clips we found. Tell us we're not having an impact. We're basically running this comedy commentary thing. We just got a whole bunch of people that haven't subscribed. That's actually true. Most of my views are people that don't subscribe. That's pretty late. But the point is, we're not wrong. What you guys say in the comments isn't wrong. You've been saying all this shit too. You've been calling out all this hypocrisy in the comments for over a year now. And the world is seeing, and they tried to smear us. They tried to copyright, take down, strike all my shit this whole time. This whole time, I've been on some kind of YouTube punishment. For probably 75 to 80% of the time I've been doing Rogansphere stuff. YouTube's got some kind of problem with me. I'll go a couple months and boom, hit me with another thing. But you know what? Doesn't stop me, didn't stop you, and we be right. We are right. Look at it. It's all being confirmed by other people. He's saying the same shit. They are shit talkers, but they can take the shit back. It's crazy. It's crazy. This is a bad year for Rogan, a good year for us. Because we spoke the truth, we took the shit, we sat in the trenches, and we're winning.
Then it's their turn. They start bitching every time.
Yep.
I'm like, how is this your fucking job? But you cannot engage with the criticism, but you take all day long criticizing other people. I don't know. To me, it's just crazy. And like this whole idea of like, oh my God, I'm going to shit on all these people. And when they have a reaction, I'm like, you're a snowflake. And I'm like, what is this? These niggas turn into days of our lives over some minor criticism that were valid.
Hey,
and I'm like, how is this a soap opera? Listen, I was so into Rogan for about like, what?
Honestly, I'm ready to go to the gym and just fight them all. None of them are really going to be a challenge. Maybe Rogan, but it took the guy 8 years to get a black belt. How does it take you 8 years? You can get a black belt in 8 years just by starting today, right? How did it take him 8 years to get a black belt? And I'd take him, Rogan, especially in a gi. Rogan is so fucked if we fight in a gi. Judo, I'm going to show you, all y'all guys that were, you people say, you don't know what you're talking about with judo. Khabib said the highest honor is winning the gold medal in judo when asked judo or wrestling. I'm just telling you, and I have mad respect. Wrestling is top tier too. But judo, stand up. Someone said the other day, you don't know what you're talking about. Judo doesn't have any stand up. Most of judo is how to defeat somebody in the standing position. What are we talking about, folks? What are we talking about? But anyways, I would love to get Joe Rogan in a gi. Boy, him being so little, I could toss that guy across the room. Talk to this guy. Oh, man. This is one point. Let's just go. Let's go. If I lose, okay. But I'm going to put some pain on that train. Come on now.
35. So I watched him from 2010, so I was 20, up until about 28.
And wouldn't you like to see me get Kreischer? Boy, I would. Ooh, boy. Ronda Rousey said he was going to put a whooping on him. Boy, Kreischer. Who would be the person? Who would be the person the most? Who would know? Theo. Get on Theo. Choke him out. Shave that fucking mullet off his head.
10 years I watched Rogan. I watched him go from a tiny podcast, run in his fucking living room, to the biggest thing in the world. And I watched everyone around him and how they all came up. It was shitting on SJWs. It was being counterculture. It was against cancel culture. It was against snowflakes. Oh, are they mad about a joke? Great. I believe in all this stuff. I don't give a fuck that people want to make these jokes. But then I see this shit unfold, and I'm like, wow. All that shit y'all was yapping about, and you guys are sensitive as well. Mark Maron did one Hitler joke, which was super minor. It was like semi-funny with the impression.
It was not a Hitler joke.
And he's like, you can't make fun of Theo. Theo's such a good boy.
It was not a Hitler joke.
Such a nice boy.
It was a Theo joke.
I don't know. It's just,
listen.
The hypocrisy is crazy.
I feel like
this thing goes on. If you would like to watch it, I'm going to stop it here because I want them to get the support and the views. There's still like a good 30 minutes, I think, of them going in on it. And I've already done an hour. I think a little more than a little more than an hour. Man, pat yourselves on the back, guys. When the fire was coming at us, when they were talking to us, we were crazy. We were liars. We were all this stuff. When they were talking all that shit about us because we were saying the truth, just like they're doing to these people calling out the Rogansphere now, we stood tall, we didn't cower, and we went on. Hey, and I talk my shit. When Louis Gomez tried to be like, I didn't make that video, I asked him questions directly. None of these people scare me. I will stand up. It doesn't matter where. This ain't the first time. And I know you guys go through the fire too. Because you did. And we may be over-dramatizing it because we all fans of this drama at the end of the day. Let's not forget that. I don't want to be a hypocrite. You know I am. I like to talk shit every once in a while. I like to talk shit about these guys all the time, obviously. And I know I'm a failure, right? I know I'm a failure. That's what your life is all about, is failing with little successes. Yeah, what am I explaining myself? I'm just talking today. I'm rambling. I'm talking about jujitsuing folks, judo chopping motherfuckers. I must be feeling mighty good today. It's a lot of good shit talking. Let me know what you think in the comments. These guys actually, I don't know which one is which. I don't watch these guys. I want you to know something, that if it's either Republican or Democrat, if it's talking about the Rogansphere and it brings some value to this conversation, I'm going to watch it. I don't take sides on that stuff. So I don't know all these guys, and I know you want me to do some background research, but I have limited time, and I don't research. Look, it's a reaction video. They show me something I've never seen, and I react to it, right? So I don't have all the background. But the guy on the right here, man, he was knocking it out of the park. I think he's done some of the best commentary on this so far. Add your commentary to it, and if you'd like to join me on jiu-jitsu and judo and these people, hey, come along. We can all take turns at the Rogansphere. Peace.
Don't stand